Hi, everybody. The Arcturians came through today to talk about this threshold that we are at. We are getting ready to step into a brand new age of energy for us. And they want to talk about what's happening, what's opening up for us, and the energy that we're stepping into, and how we can step into more of our energetic power and start to tune in with this opening that is being presented to us. It's such an incredible message. I hope you can stick with me all the way through, but let's go ahead and dive in and see what the Arcturians have to say.
Do you feel the light? Do you feel the light? Do you feel the light coming? Do you feel the light? Do you feel the light? Do you feel the light coming? Do you feel the light? Do you feel the light? Do you feel the light?
Okay, before we get started, I just want to remind you next week, Quantum Soul Academy opens. This is an online community where we are going to tune in with our energetic history, the interworkings of our soul and the universe, and start discovering who we are truly at a soul level. This is going to help you develop your intuitive gifts, your channeling abilities. It's going to help you receive a bunch of information. I'm going to be building a library of channeled teachings, discovery prompts, and guided meditations to help you really get into that space for yourself as we understand all of this energetic history together. And I want to help you discover yourself at an even deeper soul level so that you can start living from that space and stepping into your mission and utilizing your intuition on a regular basis. So if you're interested in joining me in Quantum Soul Academy, the membership portion opens next week. And to be the first to know, you can sign up at the link below in my bio or the video description. I hope to see you there. So with that, we have some really incredible messages from the Arcturians talking about how the veil is thinning, and this is in more ways than one, and how we're starting to combine with energies that are from what we would call the past, and information is going to start coming forward because of this thinning and this opening that is happening for us, this energetic opening that we are stepping into. We're being given this choice right now to do it. So let's go ahead and see what the Arcturians have to say. Okay, so I'm here with the Arcturians, and they've immediately taken me up to a ship. It's giant. And they're showing me these different sectors on the ship. Some of it looks very natural, like almost the inside of the ship looks like there are caves and like natural swimming pools that are energized with the water is energized. And they're leading me through, and they're showing me there's this floor where people are sitting, where there's this glowing energy. And it almost feels uh, goopy, but it feels like it's this material that you can lay your body in, and it rejuvenates and re-energizes, and you download information in there and you come out of it and you are renewed. And I can see other beings sitting there waiting to have their turn, and they're also giving energy to the being that's laying in like this glowing like goop is how I would explain it, but it's like when you come out it's not sticky, but they have all sorts of intentional technology on this ship to help their bodies and their mind and their spiritual bodies, and to upgrade themselves and download energy and information into their body. But they're taking me somewhere in particular that they really want me to see. I feel like I'm heading to the front of the ship where it can look out. There's these giant windows, and they want to show me something here. So I just want to see what this is. It feels like the whole energy on the ship isn't just helping to man the ship. It's more like everything they're preparing for something. That's what the energy feels like here is we're getting ready. They're stepping into the next stage of a mission for themselves, and how they're helping with this whole ascension process, and how they're going through a shift as well, just as we are, because they've been on this certain mission where they've kind of been observing, they've been available to us to give them information, for them to share information with us. And they're saying this isn't like a weird thing, like there's some alien species. They're saying, a lot of these beings are us from the future. It's a fractal of our soul that exists in another dimension. And so it's like us communicating with us. So it's not this invasive thing. They're available, just like we're available for ourselves to take care of ourselves and communicate with ourselves. They're available to us in that way as well. So they're taking me to the front of the ship here, and I just want to see what it is that they're showing me. It feels like there's other ships coming towards this one, like it's a gathering. They're calling all these ships forward. It feels like I hate to use this word, but a bit of an army, and not in like a warlike side sort of way. It's more like this collective of extraterrestrial beings. And I see they're coming all in this line and they're beginning to gather around in this cloud, looking down this particular spot on the earth. I'm hearing the words, we're getting ready to go in. So I feel like a while back they brought through these messages about walk-ins, and I feel like this is what they're talking about. So the goop and the pools that they were showing me where their bodies are getting re-energized and they're downloading information, I felt like this is preparation so that they can walk in to humanity and start shifting it faster. So there's like this opening in the cloud, and they're showing me this place on Earth. It feels a little deserty. There's a lot of rock, but I do see a little bit of green and some water. And I feel like I'm looking over, I want to say it's the Middle East and around that area. I feel like it could be, yeah, it feels like the Middle East, right near the coast as well, and near the Indian Ocean and that whole area. I feel like they're getting ready to drop in there. And the words I'm hearing in my head is old Atlantis, that they're getting ready to drop in to where that energy was. I'm feeling this sense of like parachuting down. So this is happening in two ways. I feel like these higher dimensional beings, specifically the Arcturians, because that's who I'm talking with, there's this sense of coming down to the actual physical earth. And what's happening is two things. First, I feel like there's walk-ins. So their soul will exchange with another soul and they're going to become, a human body. And this is going to accelerate the ascension process so that certain souls in that, especially that area, I think this is happening in other areas. They just flashed me like New York City and I feel like a lot of cities this is going to be happening in. And I think around areas that are sacred sites or ancient land that people aren't quite awakening yet, that there's a lot of darker agenda or energy, but it feels like specifically there's something brewing in the Middle East a bit where I feel like these beings have also this warrior sense to them where they're going to go in and it's this army of higher dimensional beings. And it feels like they're walking in, but also they're going to be physically on Earth. And we're not going to be able to see them because they're at a different frequency. But they're showing me this image of someone sitting and eating at a cafe. And this Arcturian being is standing right there next to them. And they're opening up an energetic conversation. So it might feel like, oh my gosh, all of these things are being dropped into this person's brain all of a sudden, and they're having like an epiphany, an awakening. Now, these are contracted conversations. So they're telling me it's not just contracted, we're like the higher version of that soul. So it's like we're the higher dimensional version, we're the extraterrestrial version of the person we're going to be communicating with, or we have a contract with them to have this exchange. So it feels like these beings are going to be specifically working with people, like almost hovering around them to help them wake up and realize, the truth of what has actually been. And it feels like there's a lot of Atlantean energy that will be coming back online, memory about it, what actually happened, what took place, different, I would say, artifacts. They're making me feel like scrolls, certain things that, information from that time that's going to be coming forward. But it feels like it's going to start brewing. I just got to chill up my leg in this Middle East area where it feels like the center of Atlantis was. my human brain isn't thinking of the word, but the capital city, but also it's like this is the main area where Atlantis existed. And it feels like there are other, they're taking me to other cities as well. I'm being sent to New York. I just want to see what they're talking about here. Um, okay, they're saying that in these other cities where the energy is really dense and people are caught in a lot of programming, I'm seeing there's going to be a lot of walk-ins here. So it could be for a period of time, it could be for the rest of somebody's life, but it feels like it's time now. This is happening. The shift is getting more rapid. And again, these beings have been on this ship, like preparing themselves, taking in intel and information of the mission they're stepping into and how they need to go about it. And it's time now. They're saying it's time for us to step in. We're going in. Oof, oof. Um, I don't think it's just Arcturian beings. I feel like there's other types of ETs that will be doing this. Uh, I'm just seeing all these ships. It feels like they're in this collective together of we're getting ready to do this. I don't think it's everybody on the ship, but there are certain ET souls that are have agreed to do this. And then there will be some that stay on the ship and man the ship and help as like a control center so that the ET that goes in to be a walk-in or to be this like ethereal guide with a certain person, they can connect back to the beings on the ship and receive any extra information or steps to move forward. So they're saying this is happening now. This is a huge part of the shift that is going to take place, I feel like, in the beginning of April. That more and more stuff is going to be revealed. So um, Atlantis feels like a huge amount of information is going to start coming forward about that. And it feels like people getting curious about that time, about that civilization, about that society. People are going to want to know more and more about it and like talk about it more. And people are going to start looking for that information. So even a building of curiosity inside of people is going to start happening so that we can start unveiling and uncovering our truth even more. Okay, so they're taking me to the pyramids really quick. This feels insane in a really good way, but what they're telling me is that like the time of the Egyptians that we know of and we hear of in history is happening right now. And the time that we're in is happening right now. And the 1600s, it's happening right now. They're all happening at the same time, but they're different frequencies. They don't all have the same information. So we can't physically like see those frequencies or those planes of existence or those time periods. We're also not we're our consciousness of the soul that we are is in this physical body, so we can't like step into that time period. But what they're making me feel like is even the veil, the wall between like those time periods is thinning, and we're going to start receiving information through the veil from those time periods as well. So this is going to help unveil a lot of stuff and information that's going to be coming forward. We're going to notice this more and more and more. It's like it's osmosis. We're going to start absorbing information from beings during those time periods. I'm specifically feeling Egypt. They're giving me this metaphor of like a wall. So if you're standing in a home in your house or wherever you live, there's a wall and someone else is in the room on the other side of the wall, and then you're in the hallway on the other side of the wall, and you can hear the person talking. Now if they come closer to that wall, you can basically have a conversation between that wall, and it's like then the wall starts to get thinner. If you start to break through that wall a little bit, uh you can pass that information between each other of, okay, this is what I'm seeing in this room. I'm going to give the information of what I'm receiving and experiencing in this room to the person who's standing in the hallway. And right now we are the beings who are in the hallway. This time in the 2020s, this is the hallway. And it's like Egypt or the 1600s or, Japan in the BC era. It's like the walls are going to start thinning between these rooms, which are time periods, and we're going to be able to exchange information. Now, if we walk into that room, we're not going to see the person who's talking to us, but we're going to experience the energy of what they were sharing. And it will start to morph because we're going to start to experience our reality of it and theirs. But since their consciousness is in a different physical body, it's still, we're not like going to run into the version of ourself who's like wearing, a loincloth and turquoise necklaces from our Egyptian lifetime. It's just we're going to energetically communicate with it. It's telepathy. But the walls are thinning between these time periods. So sometimes what might feel like a thought or an idea is us absorbing the information from that time period. It's being brought to us, maybe from our other self, or just because now that wall is thinning, we're able to receive it and we're raising higher in that frequency. We hope this makes sense. But they're making me feel like all of these time periods, the energy is coming together now, and we get to share all of the information from these different time periods that are all existing right now, but also separately because this is our physical experience. So, because of this, there's going to be a lot of information that's going to be coming forward. As we keep raising our frequency, we're tuning into each of these very intricate different frequencies that exist in each of these time periods. We can tune in with it. We almost they're making me feel like I can lean my body one way and in this certain direction and feel the frequency of it. And I can start tuning into that frequency and become it for a little bit to receive that information. And then I can let it tune my frequency a little bit and raise it so that now I've incorporated more of this Egyptian time period or this Japanese BC era time period. It's coming in for me. I can lean this way and that way. Oh, I can feel these coming in. And they're saying the walls are thinning where we might even get curious ourselves about these different eras, about these different time periods, these places. And that is a sign that the walls are thinning between the planes of existence. So they're saying that all of this is happening because it's time. Uh, we have reached this point of basically no return. We have let the universe know we are ready for it. They're saying that humanity had to reach a certain place of curiosity and also a certain place of chaos. This is so interesting. They're saying that a lot of this chaos that we may look at as, gosh, we're going back in time. A lot of people, they're saying, may feel like some certain laws or restrictions that government has made has sent us back in time. And it's like, no, it's actually sending us back to revisit these time periods so we can share information and then start leveling the playing field. You have to know that everything is purposeful. It's not just this one layer, this black and white thing. It's all on purpose. It all has a purpose. And we get so caught in the ego of it has to be this way. This person is doing this. They're ruining the country, whatever it may be. We think that this is happening, but it's not. They're saying, look closer and start seeing the bigger picture of what's happening and actually going to unfold. Because the it's not about repercussions. It's about what's going to start evening itself out. We're not going back in time. We're communicating with those time periods and sharing information so that then we can step into the new. That's what is actually happening. And this chaos, this backward movement that we feel is being made is actually creating an opening of curiosity. Now, some people are going to get stuck in the ego with anger and judgment, frustration, feeling like they've been betrayed or victimized, and they're going to be stuck in that place, and that opening won't be created for them. They're saying this is where the ETs will start to come in and help with this process. But the other people, we're starting to get more curious. Maybe we're even less interested in what government has to say. And it's like there's more. We know everything else will catch up. And it feels like humanity had to reach this place where enough of us were curious, which curiosity pulls in this higher frequency. Curiosity opens you up to there is something more, and I want to know what it is. There is something else. This is happening, but I know there's another way. How can I bring in more light, more information to help unravel what is happening and to help bring in this higher layer that's wanting to come in and absorb into humanity and Earth itself? And it feels like the more I can feel this like other energy and layer that's wanting to not be put over the earth, but to soak into it. And when it does that, it pushes the old layers off, like the shedding that I've talked about. So it feels like we've created enough of an opening that this curiosity has birthed chaos. I mean, this chaos has birthed curiosity, and maybe even vice versa. But it's all good. It's all actually creating an opening. And you have to realize that. They're saying start looking for the opening that is actually being created. Even people backtracking and maybe doing something completely differently or feeling like we're going to bring in an old way, it's still like they're searching for something. They're trying to find something. It's creating some sort of opening so that a higher thought can come in. And the more that we put our energy on it of this is wrong, this is destroying us, this is sending us backwards, the more that that's going to actually be the case. But if you can say, okay, this is happening, what's the opening that's being created here? It will allow in higher conscious thought to come through. There's ease. Do you feel that when we say that? I can feel this stream of like golden, sparkly light coming in, and it's going into the heart space and wrapping around the body, and it's creating an opening in all of us. Okay, this is happening. I may not like it. So, what's the actual opportunity here? What is it forcing me to actually look at? Not the thing that's happening. It means there's something else that I'm supposed to turn my attention to. That's what we need to start looking at. We are in the midst of one of the most prominent and important shifts yet. We are making a giant jump this year. And it's not so much a jump, it's an allowance. We are allowing more in. They are showing me, and I'm being felt even in my own body, all of this light coming into the heart space. And the heart is all about I know I can. And what else is there? There's more. Oh, I know there's more. And I trust that there is. And not just more of in a selfish way. It's more of I know there's something higher. How can I bring in more of this higher energy and make it physical and make it be part of my reality? This is what we're grasping towards now, not this. What's over here? Let me pay attention to the news, this story, this happening, this chaos. It's no, no, no. We're not getting caught up in it. We're looking at it and saying, what's the opening here that's allowing me to grab the higher conscious thought? So the Arcturians are also saying we see with our energy. Even though we have eyes, if you think about the Arcturians, they have these great big eyes. They're saying we don't necessarily see, and they see things differently with those eyes, but their energy, they're making me feel like they can see with their back, with their arms. It's their energy field is how they really actually see. And we're becoming that way too, that our awareness is 360. It's not just our brain and our eyes, our awareness is coming off of our shoulders and our hips, our feet. It's all of this. We're learning to be energetic beings inside of a physical body. And we're becoming more energetic, which will make the body lighter. It will make it less heavy. They're telling me less illness because we're learning to see. And we've had a little bit of training with this as empaths, the empath and the narcissist, where we start to be so aware of our environment. It's a similar method, but it's not based in fear. We're not feeling our environment based off of fear. We're feeling our environment off of curiosity and seeing what's here. We can clock things and say, what's this? We can start to see what's up ahead from our energy field and our body. Our body becomes that tuning fork to the energy around us and what's coming in. So we'll start to be able to feel the energy of the future talking to us so we can decide, is this something I want? Is this the way that I need to go? Or we can say, okay, this is what's coming in for me. Now, how do I tune myself to it? What do I need to bring in? So they're saying we're going to start seeing with our energy. This is a huge portion of what we're stepping into. And it feels like this golden light is starting to come in April and prime our heart chakras and our heart space to begin to see with our energy. And as we see with our energy, it all gets filtered through the heart. Does this feel right to me? Is this something I move forward with? Okay, I'll go in this direction. It's all filtering through that space. So it feels like the more we tune in with that space and allow our energy and the field around us to really speak to us and let us know what's actually going on, the more that we'll be able to operate from this heart space as well. They're saying, the Arcturians, they're like, we take in a lot of intel. Yes, we actually see stuff with our eyes. Yes, we hear things. Yes, we feel things. We touch them. But um, their primary source of interpretation of what they're seeing, of the what they're taking in through their senses, it's interpreted through their energy. That's how they see, and that comes through the heart. So everything is being interpreted by that space, and we are learning to drop down from the brain and just think in this way to the heart, so that can become the interpretation center. Remember, we've already brought through this term of we're heart workers. We're learning to become beings who work with the heart primarily. Our senses, taste, touch, feel, seeing, all that stuff is just a way to bring in intel and give it to our energy field to then let it be interpreted by the heart. We're not, this seeing is believing, or I have to touch something and make sure it's physical in order to know it's true, or anything like that anymore. I have to read the information in a book. No, we will begin to feel it in the body and know it deeply in the body. The heart space is the pump for that. It is the control center for the interpretation of the energy that is around and coming towards us and for us. And it feels like these ETs that are coming down to planet Earth, that's their primary mission, is to help us become energetic seers. They want to help us get in touch with our energy field and feel everything that's around us. They're taking me back to the person at the cafe and this Arcturian being standing next to them, feeding them information into their field. And it's dropping in this knowing. They feel it in the heart. I knew this. I just know it's real. So we are learning to become almost like our own form of AI. We can ask ourselves a question, and our energy field is going to give us the answer to it. So we are learning to become like that formulation and just receive information. And at this cafe, they're showing me this person sitting here, and all of a sudden they can get a sense of all of the energies around them. And again, not in a fearful way, but just picking up okay, what the energy is like in this place. And maybe I'll feel if somebody is going to, spill their coffee, or if someone's going to start to have an outburst, or if someone is feeling loved. And this is how we can even send energy to each other. But our energy is going to almost constantly read our environment. And again, not in a draining way, in an informative way, so that we can learn how to become energetic beings and energetic seers in a physical body. We're learning to trust our own intuition and our own intel. Uh, this higher information that comes in is also us. Just like these ET beings are also us. It's a version of us, or a fractal of our soul. And it's like it's our brother or sister. It's our twin. We're talking to it because it's like part of our bloodline, and we share this connection because we come from the same energy. So we wanted to bring this forward because it's time to start using your energy to interpret things in your reality. We want to say, stop relying on your eyes and ears and start relying on your energy field. Anytime you have to ask yourself a question, or you need to know if something you've seen on social media or TV, or that you've heard on the radio, or that you've read, if it's right for you, or if it's something that you should continue paying attention to drop into that heart space, literally feel your awareness in that space. You can drop it down even further in your gut and ask, is this true? Is this real for me? And what is the higher thought that wants to come in? What is the opening that wants to come in from this information that has just been brought into my field? So we want to learn and to get into this habit of dropping into the heart and that space. And even if they're making me feel like even part of the abdomen as well, which is where our power and our intuition, the seat of our intuition, is in those lower chakras as well. So, our gut instinct, that's where we want to drop in and know, is this right for me? But the heart is going to invite in that higher thought. And we want to start communicating with that and inviting that in for us. So they're saying no, that all of these walls are thinning between eras and time periods, and between the dimensions and interaction with higher frequency beings. It's all starting to meld together. So we're all in this oneness of energy, and our energy field can start to feel frequencies that are available to us. Like we were saying earlier with, the Egyptian era information that's going to be coming through via like osmosis, we're feeling it smack up against our energy field. And it's, information from that era that wants to get our attention and come through. Same with, higher dimensional beings. We can feel that, a version of us from the future that lives on another planet is wanting to connect with us, and it's meeting our energy field. They're saying we can sit and drop into the heart and start getting a sense of the energy field that's around you. It almost feels like hearing the number 6, like it can go 6 feet out around us. And we want to feel the whole energy field and start feeling into, I feel like there's a frequency here that I can sense there's something here. Let me pull it closer. What is this thing that's smacking up against my field that wants to get my attention? And we can decide whether we invite it in or not, or, we can wash it with light. And to put this bubble of energy, of golden light around this energy field to protect us, and only allow in the frequencies that match our highest and greatest good. So it's important to not only protect the body, but also the energy field around it. So they're saying that a great way to get in touch with this energy field is nature, obviously, but they're saying to specifically sit on rock. And I almost feel like sitting and inviting in that sunlight to absorb into the body and light up your energy field, and to sit on that rock as it holds a really great base, and rock holds energy. in a really high level way. So the rock can help support you. Whereas the earth itself, like the dirt, the grass, it's a little more absorbent. And the rock is more solid, so it's going to support a little better. It also very much absorbs energy, but it's not going to absorb yours. It's going to be connective but supportive so that you can really step into this energetic field that's around you and supercharge it and really get in touch with it and help get in touch with you and the field around you so that you can start seeing with your energy. So they're saying this is important to really make it a priority to get back to nature and utilize rock. If you live near mountain or any type of rock that you can sit on, it will really help. You can sit there and meditate or just feel into the energy around you and see what's there. As you sit in nature, you can feel your energy field being met up by a tree or a butterfly that's flying by or the water that's next to you, and you start to get a sense of that energy. And they're saying practice working that in your energy field in a pure state in nature. And you will begin to get a sense of things popping into your field and reading them. They're saying this is also a way that we're going to connect with each other when each of us are really in tune with the energy field around us and we're walking around and we come in contact with each other. Our fields are going to meet each other first, and we'll know, oh, this person feels like they're, a soul contract for me. I need to get in touch with them. We're supposed to build something together and start a company together or something. So it's like I'm going to know this person before I even actually see them and how I'm supposed to find them or meet them. If you're walking in the grocery store and you can sense somebody else's field who maybe isn't in touch with their field and they're a little scattered and chaotic, you'll know, okay, I'm going to, really feel into that protective barrier on my field so I don't invite this in. And it, again, they're saying we're not operating out of fear, we're operating out of knowingness and what is for us and what is not. And during these times, as people are stepping into their curiosity and others are getting caught in the chaos, we are fine tuning our field so that we can also attract in things that are a match for our field and inviting in the things that are a match for that field. So it is important to go be in nature and invite that in so we can get a sense of that 6 feet of energy around us and start reading and seeing and feeling and knowing from that energy. They're saying there is great shift upon us and we are at the threshold of a new age. And it feels like as we step into April, we are making that choice. Am I going to fall back, lean back into the chaos of this world and let my field get wrapped up in that? Or am I going to own my energy and start stepping in and raising the frequency of my field so that I can fine tune it and start seeing with my energy? This is the jump that we're making so that we can start really working from the heart and creating an existence that is built on that frequency. They're saying, look for the people who see possibility and opportunity in everything that's coming. They're aware of what is going on and this ascension process and how things may be crumbling and chaotic, but they are more focused on the opportunity of what is going to present itself and feeling into this higher or future energy that's coming into the heart. You will be able to notice that it is a big difference in a feeling of that person versus someone who is still stuck in the doom or saying how things are going wrong or we're being sent back in time and all of these things. You are here to look for the opening of the higher conscious thought. And you want to find your brothers and sisters who are also in that opening as well. You may not know exactly what it is yet, but you know it is there. And that is the place that is so beautiful to be in. And that is the place that has brought us to this point and allowed in the next phase and the next stage of this awakening and ascension process on the earth. They're saying the heights that we have brought ourselves into and that we are accepting to step into are really beyond our wildest possibility. The things that will begin to unfold so rapidly are going to be shocking, but in a beautiful way. And it feels like there's so much ripe opportunity that wants to come in for us. We just have to accept it by knowing that the opening is there. This shift is us stepping into an opening. And that opening is getting bigger and wider and larger the closer we step into it. It is an opening of light, an opening of freedom, and an opening of love in our hearts. Open wide, my loves. The new world is here. It's here. Thank you so much for being here, and keep reaching towards that opening that is coming forward for all of us. This is the space where we want to go.
Do you feel the light? Do you feel the light? Do you feel the light coming? Do you feel the light? Do you feel the light? Do you feel the light coming?